Okay guys, you're welcome to this SmartExaminer tutorial. Well, lots of requests have come in for setting up the application, especially with Java 8. As you may know, okay, Java is currently on its Java 8 version. Okay, so when you're downloading the Java after installing the SmartExaminer, it is possible that what you get to see it's Java 8 or beyond. And Java 8 setup is a little bit different from Java 7. Okay, the setting up with Java 7 has already been demonstrated in an earlier video, and so what I'll be doing here is demonstrating with Java 8. Now I'm running a virtual machine. As you can see here, I'm having 3 operating systems. Here I'm having Windows 7, Windows 8 and Windows 10. Now I just finished installing Java here in Windows 7. I just finished updating the one here in the Windows 8, and also I just finished updating the one in Windows 10. Now I'm just going to show you a few things. Now it is possible that after installing or updating your Java, what you have is something like this. Okay, so what you need to do is just to click on close, and then it's also possible that what you have is this. Now what I'm just going to advise you to do, okay, is to click on see list of Java versions. Now if you have any version which is less than Java 7, then you may need to uninstall it. But if you don't have any version less than Java 7, I think you may just need to leave it. So for instance, if you have Java 6 here, you might just enable it and uncheck the one of Java 7 or Java 8, as the case may be, because if you uninstall these Java 7, this very Java 7 which you're seeing here, it could affect the application, the resource of application server. So I would advise it is better you do not uninstall any out of date version. You just click on the close, and that should be fine. So just click on close here and everything should work out fine. Alright, I'll be using 3 different browsers in this application to demonstrate the application, and I'll need you to understand and follow me. Alright, this is where the SmartExaminer application has been installed. These other operating system are going to be seen as client systems. So what I would want to do here is to launch the SmartExaminer Manager. Okay, I want to launch the SmartExaminer Manager application here, because this is where the application is installed. Alright, there is a few things you need to know in order to make sure the application is accessible from all other networked systems. Now since I'm running on a virtual machine, okay, these 3 operating systems are already networked, which means they can see themselves. Let's say it more like simulates a network connection. Okay, now as you can see, there is basically nothing installed here. It's just a blank setting. So what I'm going to do is to click on preferences here, and I would click on auto detect. Now I would also click on this, which means that the IP address here is the same thing as the manager IP address, same thing as the Resource application server IP address, because they are both installed on the same system. Now I'll need you to keep track of these IP address, which I'm just going to copy to my clipboard, and then I'll click save and apply, and then I'm going to click on OK. Now I'll demonstrate something. Let me double click on this and show you a few things. Now, as you can see here, this is running on the local system. That's why we're having the 127.0.0.1. okay, now what I'm going to do is to click on the launch application button, and it is hopefully supposed to start the SmartExaminer client. Alright, just follow me on this one. Could take a while, but it's sure gonna load. Okay, let us wait for it. Well, while that is loading, I think I would come and demonstrate what you need to do on other client system. Now, this is another client system, which could be any networked system in your office, in your school, or wherever. Okay, it doesn't have the SmartExaminer installed. Okay, it doesn't have the SmartExaminer installed. So what you would do is to write the IP address of the server. When I talk about the server, I'm talking about the system which the SmartExaminer is installed on. Okay, which is what we saw from here, which is this. So what I'm going to do is to come down here and just paste that IP address with the port number, which is 8590, and I'm just going to click on enter. Now, as you can see, installed application SmartExaminer, I'm going to click on it. It should load. Now, if you look here, you can see that the plugin was blocked, which means that the Java plugin was blocked, and if you do not enable it, it's not going to run. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I'm actually using different browsers here to actually demonstrate this, so that you can also know what to do in such scenario. Okay, so whatever browser you're using, if it's Chrome, you should look at the top right hand corner here. If you see an X, it means that a plugin on this page is actually blocked and you need to enable it. So if I click on it, I'm going to say always allow plugins, and I'm going to click on done. So this should enable the Java plugin on this page to run. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to refresh this page again, and then I'm going to click on launch application. Now this should block, and I'm going to explain to you why it's blocked and also how to correct it. It's due to the new Java 8 security settings, and we need to modify a few things from the control panel, the Java control panel, to enable this application work. While that is loading, I'm just still going to do the same thing here. 8590, and this is just another okay, as you can see, this is how Mozilla Firefox does this. Okay, this plugin, I'm just going to click on activate Java, allow and remember. Okay, at times it could be somewhere here, you're just going to click on it and say continue allowing. So what I'll do is I'm just going to refresh this again to allow us load this application. So these are it's also showing me an alert here. I'm just going to click on allow. Okay, allow and remember, and I'll change this to allow and remember as well, and I click on OK. Now you need to understand that browsers are different, and that's why I'm actually using several browsers to explain this. Now the one for Internet Explorer has been demonstrated already in the initial setup video for the SmartExaminer manager. Okay, I'm gonna come back here to this, and as you can see, it says application blocked by Java security setting. Now what we need to do is to go to control panel, and if we get to type Java here, we can click on this to load the okay, we can click on this to load the Java control panel. Now one thing you need to do is to go to the security tab. Now make sure that this is enabled, because if this is not enabled, it means that you would not be even able to launch from the first place. Okay, so what you do is, after enabling this, you click on apply, click on OK, then you restart your browser and start the process again. And what I'm going to do now is to make sure that we are able to access the SmartExaminer client, which is installed on this server system. Now we know that the IP address is this, okay, and we have been able to access it from here. So what I'm going to do is to copy this URL here, come to the control panel here, click on edit site list. I need to add this to the list of exemptions, okay, which I'm going to do. I'm going to click on add, continue. Now it is possible that you want to locally access this, okay. Let me say this is the software, this is the system rather, where you install the SmartExaminer. You would want to change this to the 127.0.0.1. okay, you can add this, and you could also add that of the local host. So this is what you will need to do probably in all systems which you want this application to run on. Okay, you just need to do this once and that is it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on OK here. I'll click on launch application, and it should allow us to launch the application this time around. As you can see, this was also blocked, so what we would need to do also is to go to the control panel. The same thing we did, and do that on all the systems which this application will be run on. So I'm just going to click on enable, and I'm going to drop this, I'm going to add it. Okay, I'll change this one, the IP address port. I'm going to add this, and then I'm just going to change it to the local host. It should be local host, and that is it for the setting up. So this should enable us launch this application without, okay, I'm going to click on this. This should enable us launch the application without the application blocking. As you can see, it's allowed us to launch the SmartExaminer client, and this one is also going to allow us, because we've been able to change the security settings and enable us access the application from this server. Okay, just waiting to show you that everything is okay and it's up and running. Alright, thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and see you in the next.